Space, the last frontier. These are the voyages of the starship Omicron. Its 2-year mission to explore cool new worlds, to seek out friendly and deadly life, to boldly go where no one has gone before.
Ready? Captain's log. Stardate 2266.3. Upon further exploration of the ancient bunker, we have located the mysterious power source. A quantum computer that has stored the memories of hundreds of civilians in the hope to be returned to their bodies when the planet becomes safe to live on again. Unfortunately, there was a problem with the computer, and it could not do so, and their minds had become trapped for thousands of years. During this time, they became totally insane and are hard to reason with. They are looking for new bodies to attempt to place their minds in. There are a few dead Vidians from the above research base that they have killed trying to do this. Now it seems they want to try on us. They have our ship held hostage and beam the other crew down if we do not comply. There is one outlier in this, a boy who has warned us. He seems the only sane mind in this thing. Now the security bots surround us. We have a difficult choice to make. So, gentlemen,
We have control of your vessel. If you wish to save the lives of your shipmates, you will do exactly as you're told. Your bodies are ours now. We will live again in corporeal form. If you prefer death, your crew is healthy in abundance. We will call them down to us one by one if we must, using your own voices to issue commands.
we cannot let you experiment upon us or the crew. Give us a few minutes to think about this, like you had said. Let us talk amongst ourselves.
A few minutes you have.
So I look at the rest of the crew. Does anyone have any ideas, any suggestions, anything to offer?
Captain, we need to destroy that thing with phaser leveled.
Okay, I hear that suggestion. We are surrounded by 7 of these machine gun toting robots, I guess they are.
If, hypothetically, we were to attempt to help them, and we would need to have some understanding of the technology that they're using, because that's not something that we're experienced with. And perhaps, as we're helping them, we accidentally cause a problem that happens to be beneficial to us. If you understand what I'm saying.
They're following
Yes.
our every move. They're listening to every word we say. There's no way we can.
We're not using a translator here. We're speaking, and they cannot understand us unless they have a translator. That's why we're talking amongst ourselves. So I do not disagree with you. I am sure that they are very interested in this, and we can't help them because the first thing they want is to take us and plug us into these machines, and that means giving up our lives for them, which they have failed with the Vidians here. This is like a suicide mission. We can't help them.
Yeah. If
Please.
nothing else, attempting to study the technology, if nothing else, buys us time for something else, whatever that might be.
Why did that fail?
To do something else.
Why did it fail when they tried to do the mind transfer with the Vidians?
Yes.
They did not say, but we could check it out. It looked like they were incompatible from what we had seen.
I mean, that's the first thing we'd have to try and work out if we were to help.
But it still comes down to they want bodies, and we would have to give up lives to give them bodies.
They're not gonna take my body, our body.
Hawk 2 is.
I agree.
Hawk 2's. But Gavin, the lives of the one are more important. We gotta. There's one good soul. Did you hear that, boy?
Or that's just a trick that they use to draw us down here and get us in this room.
I concur with you. Sure, I concur with you. There is no reason to believe that this intelligence is not engaged in deception. After all, it is only as a result of that boy's voice that we came down here in the first place.
But Captain, how do we know for sure? It could be a real boy trapped in there.
We have been tricked.
The needs of the few do not outweigh the needs of the many. There are many on our ship. There are 100 here.
There is the fate of an entire civilization on board our ship,
Including in our sector, one civilization we have saved, and we also have some others with it, which we have brought on board. Besides them,
also, essentially, there's two ways of looking at this young boy's voice, whatever it is. Essentially, either we accept that it is somehow a separate consciousness to the rest, in which case he's asked us to help him destroy
it.
Everyone
he
down
said,
here.
They're all insane. Please destroy them.
Which would include himself, or
right.
Or we say that it's some sort of deception that was just to get us into this situation, in which case we may need to wind up destroying them to be able to get away anyway. I'm not sure that just because this one individual might be actually legitimately separate from the rest, even if it is the case, he made a request to help us destroy everyone. To some extent, I've got to accept that along the same lines as someone in some sort of dire medical situation who has asked for no heroic efforts for their resuscitation, or in fact asked to allow them to let go, because I can't imagine it would be a great experience for this young boy if indeed that's what it is. We have certain obligations that, ignoring the fact that we're essentially surrounded by an enemy force and are essentially taken prisoner, ignoring that, we'd have certain obligations to honor his wishes.
You're all talking in circles, and if we don't act, they're gonna act for us.
We have been given some time. I do not think that they will violate that. And I listen to your counsel. I do not think this is something that we can negotiate through.
If they want our help, we need to have some understanding of their technology. Otherwise, we aren't in a position to be able to help them. And if we study the technology that they've got, maybe that provides us with an opportunity to improve the situation in any number of possible ways.
Do we have any technology to be able to clone bodies which have a blank mind?
I have an option that might be doable, but I don't know if we have the capability. When we transport, the transporter stores a copy of our bodies, minds, etc., and then essentially prints it out on the pad for lack of a better way to put it. Could
Right.
we rig the transporter to print out 2 bodies instead of 1? If so, I would be prepared to be the first to go through that process.
I would say theoretically, and it's possible. Please go ahead.
Can I make some sort of a roll to try and work out whether that would be possible? Because I know that in future parts of Trek, it winds up being possible accidentally.
Yep.
Can I make a roll to work out how that might be a way for something to happen?
Tarek is rightly or wrongly, and it can go either way, presuming this is simply a programming question. I.e., you'd reprogram the software for the transporter to print buffer times 2.
Yeah.
So you want to, like, transport a dead body and put the brain in it?
No, full duplication of Tarek. And then
As you
one
use
of him,
Tarek.
and then one of him would hand himself over for their process. Even if it fails, they would be able to determine what's going wrong, and one of them would still be alive.
So you want to duplicate? I've never seen that in Star Trek where they duplicate somebody, but
There are 2 Rikers.
Tom Riker, Will Riker.
Yep.
Yeah.
with the
There were
transport.
also 2 Kirks at one point as well.
Yeah. There was 2 Kirks. Yeah.
Yeah, but that would be philosophically very wrong to do, because that person that you duplicated, even though one will survive, that other one still has this is exactly like you, and so being subject to
one
death
of the
or mind control or screwing would be just like it's happening to you.
And given the threat to the crew, Tarek is taking the view that needs of the many outweigh needs of the one. At least going through this process, one of him dying buys the crew time. If it works, it's an option. It gives these guys an option.
Is it possible to clone someone with a blank mind like that? So we could use, say, Tarek, but he would no longer be Tarek. He would be a blank slate, which they could use to try to put consciousness into. Because part of the transporter process is to reintegrate the memories.
You sure part of the transportation process is reintegrating the memories? I thought I just copied the atoms in their specific locations, and that automatically.
Yeah, that was my understanding as.
Yeah, that automatically created the memories right there.
So that's the question. Could we modify it so it did not create the memories then?
I think that would be.
That would definitely be an extended check.
I think
that would definitely be a very extended check.
Well, like I said, if you're going to duplicate one of yourselves, I think that's really, really bad. I don't think you would do that. That's basically somebody volunteering themselves to be going to this machine. It's basically the same thing.
How about a clone? Can we create a clone?
You'd have to grow a clone.
Yeah, I think under the circumstances where the alternative that we are being presented for is there are 7 large guns pointed at our head. The alien computer the alien computer intelligence has credibly hijacked the ship. I'm just going to say et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. There's a whole lot of stuff that is out the window at this point. AKA, it's an average week. It's your average week on Star Trek.
Hawk 2 is like, well, maybe Captain, maybe if we could somehow understand what went wrong with what they're trying to do and give them that knowledge, maybe they let us go.
Do they have bodies? Are the bodies still viable that they have here?
The bodies are all dead.
So they're not going to let us do that, I don't think. If we give them that information, then they will continue to hold us here, and they will have the bodies and the information of how to fix it. We're working with a sane individual.
But maybe if we start studying the bodies and studying the technology, maybe we'll buy enough time for us to be able to do something else.
So, do we feel that the power that they are losing is causing the insanity in them, or is it just the time period?
So, and just to make sure that because I think I see an implicit question in there. If we stabilize the power situation, are you asking if that would help with the insanity?
Right, that's what I'm asking.
No, you gathered that in the last episode that the insanity is basically caused by being trapped in the machine for thousands of years amongst everybody going nuts, nowhere to escape, nowhere to go.
And presumably,
even if we were to save them, they would still be insane. We're putting insane minds into bodies.
But Captain, maybe don't forget the boy. If he's alive and it's not a trick, he could be in there.
He's asked us to kill him. As a doctor, do you not allow people their last wishes? He has asked. He does not have a body. He has asked for this to be turned off.
Because maybe he has no hope, but we could maybe give him hope.
How do you suggest we give him a hope, Hawk 2? I am up to any suggestions that you may have, but giving them the answer to their problem so they can continue to experiment on us is not the way to do it.
Maybe we could just talk to the computer, try to reason with insanity. Maybe it's possible.
I really wish I could have Tarek make a Marx Brothers joke right now. I really wish I could justify that.
Hey, maybe you watch classic TV. Maybe you know it.
Yeah.
Same world, same universe.
Captain,
I guess
if you ever saw
a Tellard, group.
Yeah, Captain, if you ever saw an old Marx Brothers movie, there ain't no sanity clause.
I am not familiar with Earth culture, so I am not. I do believe I've seen that. Maybe we could see it in the ship cinema.
I believe that after this mission, a recreational movie night would be very logical.
Yeah, maybe not horror.
Does anyone have any suggestions that do not involve us pulling our phasers and destroying the things around us?
If
I mean,
if we were to try that, we run the risk of being cut down before we have a chance, or stopped in some way at least before we have a chance, and that doesn't help us. But if we at least look like we're playing along, we might have the opportunity to achieve that result more with a greater chance of success.
I believe our best shot in that case would be to ask to analyze whatever data that the machine has on what went wrong with the prior transfer attempts.
I think we also
go
have
from
a
there.
secondary problem. Is there any way that we can reboot and wipe the virus from the computer?
Well, if we see the technology here, we might find a way to achieve that kind of result. Yeah.
Well, I mean, by telling Lieutenant Rhodes to do a hardcore reboot and power down all systems.
I mean, potentially, but we'd have to be able to get in touch with them, and I don't think I'm fairly certain our hosts are doing a good job of preventing that. And even if they were able to manage to do that, we don't know how they got into our system in the first place. So I think that unless we can deal with what's happening down here, we don't. I'm not sure how we can rely on anyone up on the ship, and we might be in the best situation to be able to help them as well.
Well, let's try talking to them. So I will suggest that they allow us to check and see what's wrong and ask them questions, and then everyone can ask questions about what went wrong and let us review the data, and we'll see what they say.
Do we have anyone else on our science team who might be useful to bring in on this? Out of character, yes, he's asking if there are any NPCs we should drag out.
I think Hawk 2's. Oh no, Hawk 2's the only science guy there. The two NPCs are security.
He's medical.
Yeah, he's medical.
Oh, Hawk 2's medical? Chief Med.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's science too, so he's the closest thing you got.
Well, I mean, we have our chief engineer with us, so I mean, he certainly covers that.
Yeah. Okay, so.
All right, let's try to talk to him then. Flip the universal translator back on. So we would like to ask you a few questions and try to understand your technology so we may help you.
Why did the
Do you agree
prior
with this?
transfers fail?
You cannot help
Sorry,
us.
okay.
How can you help us?
Well, currently, all of these that you have tried on, you have failed. We would like to examine, because you really can't, what has exactly failed and why you were unable to do this, and why it was incompatible. If we can tell you that, then it may be able to help you. We also can probably fix your power source so that you can continue to operate without the loss of power drain that you're continuing to lose right now.
brains in a quantum computer cannot figure out the problem ourselves?
Then what is the problem?
And do you know the problem? As he has said,
If we cannot figure it out, you cannot figure it out.
our technology is far in advance of yours. You have seen our ship. We have faster than light travel. Well, we are in advance of your civilization.
And we are a fresh set of eyes.
Not to mention, you don't have hands-on to look at this. We do, and our chief medical officer is actually with us.
Okay, give me difficulty 5 because it's insane. Persuasion
Wow.
task.
But
Okay.
for the record, is the persuasion task insane or the people we're trying to persuade insane?
Both.
14-year-old dose.
And you got 0 momentum, it seems.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can see.
But at
Yes,
least, but at
yes,
least
because
we've got
somebody
the
was
correct-
yes, because somebody was exceedingly insistent on draining our momentum last time. I wonder who that could have been.
Who was it? Who drained the momentum last time? Me? It wasn't
Yes.
me. You guys used your momentum. Well, yeah, what? Oh, because to get that information, right? I made you use 2 momentum.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, you know what? I rewatched that and I figured I was a little too cruel there. Okay, sometimes I can be a little too cruel, but
Yeah.
I think you guys are too cruel on me in this game. Okay, I'll give you your 2 momentum back.
Fair enough.
All right.
This is gonna be a hard roll because
I'm-
you're gonna need help. Like remember your determinations.
So
are
what
only
do I
good-
need? I need
Are only good for the
what is
mission.
this?
I know that
Control
Echo has already
command?
used his. So determination would be useful here. I don't know if any of you have any left.
point of determination.
You sure? You didn't use
I
it?
have a point of determination. No, I haven't used it.
I haven't used mine. I haven't used mine.
I think it's possible I might have been the only person to have used it in all of our sessions so far. I just used it a whole bunch. Maybe. But would it be what would the role itself be for Jancic? Would it be presence command?
Control command? Is it control command?
I don't know what persuasion. I'm checking it now.
I think tends to be
Reason command?
I think it tends to be presence, like you.
Can't find it here.
That's how well you're presenting your
Yeah.
argument. And that
I mean,
sort of stuff.
I think it also sort of depends on what you're arguing. There's a difference. There is a difference
arguing from
between
the
a
point of reason.
charismatic speech. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah, I
arguing
would
from
argue-
the point of reason.
Yeah, I would argue for reason as well.
Reason does tend to be more about you working out stuff that you've been given certain facts and then like putting them together to come to a logical outcome. But
Okay, so I would say then you could either use, well, presence. What about presence? No, I think reason would be it. So reason and command.
Okay, reason command. Okay. I have a couple of things to help me under my balance. One is that I have cultural flexibility, which is you're at ease meeting new cultures and you adapt to unfamiliar social structures easily. When a tempted task to learn about an unfamiliar culture or to act in the appropriate manner when interacting with members of such a culture, you may re-roll 1d20 for free.
Okay. Is anybody helping you?
That's the first one. And the second one is diffuse tension. Whenever you attempt to persuade someone not to resort to violence, which is exactly what I'm doing, the first d20 is free that I purchase.
Okay, and I also forgot too. You could buy dice with momentum, and you could buy dice with threat. So
I would be so I would be helping. A, I've got 15 between the two. But B, I have diplomacy and negotiation.
I also have diplomacy.
okay, so that's your focus, right? So
All right.
so if you roll under your department on a dice, you get 2 automatic successes.
I roll 2 dice. I get to run. I can reroll 1. And if I
Well,
spend the 10 momentum, that gives me 1 die, right?
Well, you said one of your talents.
I get 1 for free.
You get one for free, so that would take you up to 3 dice that you'd be rolling.
Somebody get a pencil and paper.
I'm tracking. So you said you've got a talent that gives you 1. You get to buy an extra die for free, so that takes you up to
Yeah,
rolling.
I get
3.
about first one's free.
We've got 2 momentum, so you could spend 1 of those on an additional die. That would take you up to 4 dice.
Okay.
And 2 for the next die.
It would be 2 for an additional 1, yeah.
So you could do 2 threat.
Right.
You could do 2 threat or 1 momentum and a threat.
So far, spending 1 momentum would be up to 4 die. We'd have the assist from Tarek, who would roll 1 die of their own. And if you choose,
what does determination do? What can I use determination for?
So if you have a value that would apply to this situation, you could use your determination so that when you pop the window up, you click the option. It turns one of the die that you're rolling, so one of the 4, would be treated as automatically rolling a 1. So instead of rolling 4 randomly, you'd essentially roll 3, but be guaranteed 2 successes on top of whatever you roll from the 3.
Right. So I want to use my determination. I have a focus. It's going to automatically give me, with my focus, that gives me another automatic success, right? Since I'm going to have an automatic
no,
1.
Focus isn't automatic. No, you got to roll under your
But focus
department.
means that if whatever your command score on this one is, if you roll that or lower, counts as 2 successes. If you don't have a focus,
but I'm going to have 1 that's going to count as a 1 already. Does that count?
So using your determination, that gives you 2 successes on 1 of the 4 die that you're rolling.
But does that count as rolling under his department?
No.
Right. Does that count as rolling under
I'm not going to give you 4 successes on 1 dice. No way.
No. So you get the 2 successes because it's rolling a 1. So whenever you roll a 1, you get 2 successes. If you have a focus that applies to the roll and you roll under your discipline score for that roll, so in this case, roll your command score or lower, then that would also count as 2 successes instead of it just being if you roll a 1. So I'm guessing your command score is what, 4 or 5? 5. So on any dice that you roll 5 or less, you'd get 2 successes. So that it doesn't double up with your determination as well. No, you still get that.
All right. So I would like to give 1 threat and take both momentum. So I'll have 5 dice.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Is that okay? It's only 1 threat.
Okay, roll them up.
Yeah. And what value are you using for your determination?
Yeah, it's got to be one of your values that apply in this situation.
Hold on. I'll have to close my dice pool. My value is diplomacy before violence.
Okay, cool. That works.
Pretty solid.
Okay,
And
five
when the box
dice,
comes
we
up, it
focus.
should give you all the options in the box, like focus. It'll do it automatically.
What's a dedicated focus? What's that?
Doesn't apply to us.
Okay.
So yes,
All
you
right.
would be using
Here
a
we go.
focus, using determination, and rolling 5 die.
All right. Let's try this. Oh yeah.
8 successes.
Oh,
Ugh.
And it was
There we go.
control. It was reason and command for my 1.
Yeah.
Since
and
I
you
already
got-
declared assist.
And you got to focus on it too, right?
Yep.
Diplomacy. So 1 dice
Yep.
for you with the focus.
All right, rolling.
Ooh, you get a 1.
Oh,
Nice.
10 successes.
10 successes, so you get 5 momentum. Damn. This game's too
That was a
easy.
great roll, though. That was
Yeah,
a great
those
roll.
were some really good rolls.
All right, so what do you think of our proposal?
We have thought about your proposal, and it makes sense to us. For we have not succeeded in all this time. You have free access to this room, but be warned. If you try anything, we still have your ship hostage.
We realize that. All right, let's do what's necessary.
Okay,
Astrid
so-
will lower her
Gentlemen, let's get
weapon.
to work.
Astrid will lower her weapon and nod at the acting captain.
I would ask that you withdraw the robots at least to the edge, so they're not working under gunpoint.
Okay, the robots. Move.
So, which room were we given access to? Was it just the big room, or was it one of the side rooms?
The big room here. Well, I'm sure they don't have a problem with the side rooms either, but this is where all the computer stuff is and the power source and everything.
And I seem to remember we kind of really well hosted the equipment in at least one of the other rooms last session.
Yeah, with the secondary computer control room up at the very top level, we hosted those. All right. Oh. Let's get to work. See what we can find out.
What do you want me to
What
do,
would you like me to
Captain?
do, Captain?
I think you should probably help the chief engineer here. Or
Yes,
maybe you can look at the power source, and as a medical expert, you could check these bodies and see if you can figure out a reason why they failed to be able to transfer this.
Hawk 2, you might consider asking the computer for biological data on the prior host, i.e., the species the original species. It might provide a useful comparison.
And while he's doing that, I'll start looking at these devices and that the DM bodies are hooked up to try and work out how they work, and also at the computer. I'm not taking any action at this stage, but I am looking to see how they work and attempting in the process to maybe determine what are the points of weaknesses that I should avoid if I don't want to accidentally blow things up.
Hawk 2 comes up to you and it's biological. You think you understand biological? Let me try to examine the bodies, and you could assist me by seeing how the bodies are hooked up to the computer.
Sounds good.
Okay, so this is a difficulty 3 task. Reason plus science. The assist roll is control plus engineering.
Control engineering. Okay.
Hawk 2, what should I do, Captain? Should I use momentum?
I think that would be
yes.
reasonable.
That is reasonable.
But before I roll, in this context, would my reverse engineering focus apply?
Sure, yeah, it would apply. Okay, so how many dice can I buy, Captain?
He says
Uh,
difficulty
uh,
4.
Yeah, it's difficulty 3. How many dice is he starting with? Does he have any focus? Yada yada yada. We don't have Hawk 2's sheet in front of us.
Yeah. Does he have a focus that he can use? Does he have anything that helps him? Gives him extra dice?
Well, he's got a few focuses that might apply to that, so I'll give him I'll give him a focus.
Does he have anything to give him extra dice or anything that applies to this? Under his talents or anything?
Not could I see. I don't want to. He's got this character sheet's really complicated. I don't want to go into it. So that's his disadvantage for not showing up. He doesn't get any talents.
Yeah, our disadvantage also.
Yeah. That's it. Oh, too bad. I got enough to worry about in this game. I'm not going into this complicated
I would
character
say
sheet. He's got 5 talents. I'm not reading them. He's got 5 talents. He's got what? 5. He's got like 9 focuses, and he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 values.
That sounds about right. That's about what we all have, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I have 6 focuses, 4 talents, 4 values.
I think that's too much for like a level 1 character. Well, you don't level up in this game, so that's why.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's all I got. Sorry. No talents.
I would say give me 2 dice. What do y'all think? 2 dice? Spend enough to get 2 extra dice?
Okay, so
Yeah,
3
That's
momentum.
3 momentum, right?
Is that 2?
I'll give him 4 dice, and then you got someone helping, right?
Yeah, so we'll be rolling a total of 5 between the 2 of us.
What's the roll?
Okay, so his roll is coming up right now. 4 successes.
Nice.
There we go.
And I'll roll my assist.
Nice.
Nice.
So we get 2 momentum back.
After
I just love the look on your face, Omega.
Yeah, damn. After about a half hour, it's taken to look at this body and stuff like that, and all the others are impatiently waiting. Captain, I think I found something. It seems that the attempted download it did not exceed because the process to separate the machine consciousness into individuals' personalities failed. Though highly improbable, it might be possible to separate the individual consciousness.
Chief and engineer. You're Talus, right?
Yeah.
Lieutenant Talus, do you think you can or commander, I'm sorry, your commander.
That's all right.
Commander Talus, do you think you can work with this to separate the consciousnesses? I think we may need to fix the power source first, though. So there's enough power to do that.
At the very least, it gives me somewhere to start with the process. I still want to look at. I still want to look at their computer systems. I think I need a. Obviously, it's a different type of technology to what we're used to. I'm not sure saying it's better or worse is actually meaningful in this context.
Their technology went down a different path.
Yeah,
Exactly.
their computer technology, I do believe, is in advance of ours for computing speed and memory capacity.
Yeah. So as I think it would be worth studying their computers for a bit more to gain a better understanding, because obviously the last thing I would want to do is to accidentally delete chunks of one consciousness when attempting to separate them into individuals.
All right, I also have some experience with this, and I can assist you.
Okay.
Or I don't know what know what the other two of you can do. If you have things that will help here.
Hawk 2 is like, I know Astrid well. She is the best hope of finding the solution to this. And then
That's very flattering, Hawk 2. Give it a shot, but
I know you're keeping quiet because you don't have authority to speak, but I know I've seen your work. It would need.
Do you have experience with this sort of thing?
I can definitely try it. I'm definitely far more comfortable behind a stick.
I think I understand where Hawk 2 is going with this. Dealing with
I think so too.
different consciousnesses. I would gladly appreciate any insights that might be relevant.
Well, this would be an extended task.
Yeah.
With the difficulty of 4,
yeah.
Be daring or reason plus science. And another player may assist using daring or reason plus engineering.
What's your reason in engineering?
Yeah, I
13.
Yeah, I would have mine would be 14 for the engineering or 12 for the science.
Okay.
Yeah,
I have the same actually.
Yeah, and I'm 13 on reason plus either engineering or science.
I'm looking at 11 and 12. So I'm on the low end.
You are going to be... Ral is going to be in control of the extended task. So you could use reason and science, or daring and science. And then somebody else will assist you using daring and reason plus engineering.
All right, well...
Daring and science would be good. We'll go with that.
It sounds like I'd be best to go with the daring engineering as the assist.
All right, gentlemen, let's make this happen.
What do you know first?
Do I have our extended task on here?
Yeah, I'll give you the access to it here. Just so you could see it. Okay.
Is this devise a solution?
Yeah.
Okay.
The computer.
We grow impatient. There's only so much time we could wait. We need to have corporeal form now.
We have figured out what the problem is with the transfer. We cannot, but for us to try right now, you will just fail again. We have to figure out some of the work with the computer before we can help. All you would be doing is wasting more time that you do not have. We are attempting to help, and then we can also work with the power source. It's not going to die immediately.
Also,
we may be your last hope, so give us time to look.
You haven't dealt with Starfleet, but Starfleet engineers, when we say it's going to take a certain amount of time to do a job, that's the time it's going to take. And we don't respond well to operating under pressure. So the best thing you can do for us to be able to have the best chance of achieving this result is to give us as much time as possible to work in a relaxed environment to achieve a good result. And somehow I managed to get that out with a straight face.
You have to say, okay, Scotty.
The computer doesn't say anything back. You just hear quiet.
The computer didn't get a joke? Wow. So
let's do this.
Yeah.
So Ralph, how do you like to be called? Astrid or Ralph?
Ensign Ralph.
Ensign Ralph? Okay.
All right, Ensign, let's do this.
So you buying any dice? It's a difficulty 4, remember?
I'll take 2. Can I take 2?
2 would be 3 momentum.
Yep. But we can do that. Yep.
And you got a focus that applies here?
Let's see what happens here. Rolling.
No, that didn't work. Okay. Ignore that. So
okay.
Look, do you got focuses listed on your sheet? Let me see. I know you
I do.
Here.
I don't have anything that's going to apply in this situation.
No. You do got a good science score, but you're mainly all for flying ships. Yeah, you'll get a lot of action in space combat for sure.
Yes.
Okay, so you get no focus, but so when you click the perform task, the box is going to come up. Just hit how many dice. So you're going to buy 2 dice. You said for 3. So just hit you'll have 4 dice.
So buying 2 will give, because you always roll 2 as a starting point. So yeah, getting the 2 extras takes you up to a total of 4.
Yeah.
I see. So move that slider over to 4 and we're good?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, here we go. Bam.
Nice.
4 successes.
Well done.
And assist. It's basically each success you get extra than you need, you get momentum back. So that's
nice.
5 successes.
Okay. We get 1 back.
And so magnitude of 4 and a difficulty of 4. So the impact is your department. Your department is science, so your impact is 4. So you go up to 4.
Because that'd be from whoever's taking the lead rather than from whoever's doing the assist, right?
Yeah.
Good. Yeah.
Oh, you get the 10, you make it.
All right.
The impatience of the computer seems to be very strong. And I'm gonna roll a d4, and that's how many turns they're gonna give you. 3.
So to be clear, is that we have 3 more attempts
Turns.
from now, or is that okay? Cool.
3 more attempts before the computer loses its patience.
Can we do anything to attempt to increase that?
No.
Well, the other thing would be: is there something we can do to make it easier to achieve a result? Because we did get 1 momentum from that, and so this is more to my playing partners than to the GM. Do we want to spend 2 momentum to create an advantage that lets us, but basically makes it easier for us to understand what we're working with and essentially reduce the difficulty of the extended task?
I like this idea.
An advantage that we come up with some metaphor that this computer system, it works kind of like our computer system except for blah 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 blah, and
Except
so
the
that
slashes
allows,
are pointed the other way.
yeah, they determine the direction of their slashes from top down rather than bottom up. It's once you get that insight,
Right.
yeah.
How much will that make the difficulty go down if we spend 2 momentum?
Generally speaking, unless it would be reducing the difficulty by 1, unless our GM was replaced by someone significantly more benevolent.
Okay, so it's reducing it by 1 is what you're telling us. We don't have a lot of momentum. I'm kind of concerned about doing that.
This is why I'm asking the group what we think about doing it that way rather than because the idea would be we might not have to spend as much momentum on each attempt. So yeah, I don't know.
You probably would spend the momentum. You still need 3 successes.
Right. You still need 3 successes.
But it might mean that on future attempts we only spend
1 momentum instead of 3.
1 extra die rather than
1
spending
instead of 3.
2. Yeah.
Well, I mean, group decision. What do y'all think?
It's up to you. Like
I'm inclined to spend to create the advantage.
So that rule, how much you gotta spend?
So it'll be 2 momentum to create the advantage.
Create the trait. Because you did succeed in the roll, so you could create the trait. Easier access or something to the computer. Okay, so difficulty is now 3.
Okay. All right.
And we've got
Ensign
3 more attempts to make. Well, potentially.
Ensign Rao.
I would say go ahead and spin the momentum so you have 3 dice at least.
Yep.
Beauregard.
Okay.
Beauregard, you here?
So
I'm right here.
Okay, you're
right.
going again.
Let's do it.
So
and this time we'll spend the 1 momentum for just 3 dice in total.
That's the 1 for the assist, of course.
3 successes.
All right.
So you go up
So we
to.
got that.
So we gain 1 back.
Yeah. Okay, so you got 2 2 turns left to try to get one more success.
So what do the breakpoints do? What do they do? We're on a breakpoint.
I'm going to. No, I think I gotta spend 2 threat to put the difficulty back up to 4. It wouldn't be fair if I just spent 1 threat. So, okay, so Beauregard, you get to go again. Ensign Rao.
Omega, does the break 1 or break 2 do anything for us?
No.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, I would give you some of the knowledge if you failed this total task. It's basically what I would do.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay, how much?
All right, go ahead and spin the momentum again, so you have 3 dice.
Okay, thanks. Uh-oh.
Oh, 2
That's 2.
successes.
That's okay.
Need
And
one
you
more.
Oh, you had to get
yes.
a damn 1. Oh, so you get a momentum.
We got our 1 momentum back.
Yeah.
After how I
But
rolled
we
last
still-
time, and how my engineering team rolled last time, it's just balancing out.
That's right.
Okay?
You know how many critical failures we had last time?
Well,
Way too many.
Yeah, I mean, given how many failures we had last session, admittedly, I'm sitting here cringing just because it's like, are the dice gods looming?
All right, so we finished this one, right? We devised a solution.
So Ensign Rao, you get a new focus. You get a focus of hacking in the computer systems.
Nice.
Sweet.
Congratulations.
And this is what you're realizing as you're hacking into these computer systems. You realize that the individuals who transferred their minds to the quantum computer no longer exist. As the centuries wore on, they merged into a single consciousness. They cannot be separated. An isolated backup server contains the conscious mind of Janik Stoltz, one of the Vidians. It was uploaded as an experiment before his brain became host to fragments of the machine consciousness. His body has only been dead for a few days, preserved by the freezing temperatures. Restoring his mind to his body may be possible. That would be an extended task. Another separate entity exists within the computer. The boy that you heard. Unlike the machine consciousness, the boy has evolved beyond the confines of the computer.
When you say he's evolved beyond the confines of the computer, what does that mean? That he's able to control these robots and stuff around here?
Yeah, that could mean several different things.
Yeah, what exactly does that mean?
He's not trapped within the operation of the computer. He can do things on his own that are separate from, like, they don't know what he's doing, basically.
Could we put their minds into a mechanical body? We're not telling them we can't separate them, but I mean, could we put their mind into a mechanical body? Would that be possible?
No. Not with your technology.
I mean, given the number of okay, I think I asked this earlier. Upstairs, were those thin terminals or actual computers? Does the question make sense to you, Omega?
They were terminals when
Okay.
when we asked about
Okay.
it.
And they're all dead.
Sorry, it's been a month.
The power supply was dead. This computer is operating on its own power supply, but the power for the rest of the thing's dead.
Yeah, no, I mean, and to be clear, the reasoning was that if those were in fact, if those had been computers, my reasoning was pull the parts and wire as much capacity as possible into one of the robots.
But that doesn't seem like it's. Yeah.
We could do a test to see if we could revive this Vidian this year and make sure that the technology is working.
Do we have reason to think that as long as the process is done successfully, like, yeah, we don't botch something in the attempt, given what we've learned now, do we have reason to think that transferring that separate Vidian consciousness back into his body, would we think that might work? That might be successful.
You may be able to do. The body's only been dead for a few days, so it's still fresh. So
And
you
it's
could
preserved by the cold.
You could try to do Janek back into his brain, maybe even the boy.
Does the boy have a body though?
No.
Well, we could do it back into the Vidian, is what he's saying. The Vidians, we know, are a violent race, right?
I think.
Wasn't that what we discovered?
Not necessarily violent, but definitely of dubious ethics.
Yeah, they just
From our
do it to
perspective.
survive. They don't want it. They don't do it because they want to. They do it to survive. Like you.
So all four of these bodies are viable since they've been here, or it's just one of them?
All four of them.
Because were all the Vidians because wouldn't all the Vidians have been loaded in around the same time?
Yeah.
Yeah, he said all four of them.
Okay.
Well, we could probably do the boy, one of the Vidian minds, and then we could tell him we're going to do the other one and transfer the high consciousness into one of them. I don't know. We need to do something to trip them. Is all I can say.
I was just going to say, and to be absolutely clear, I am not saying anything of this out loud until I find out the answer to the question, and even then, I might not. Given what I've learned in studying this process with Ensign Rail, do I think it would be? Well, I suppose it's two parts. Do I think it would be possible to transfer the combined consciousness into one body? So, do I think that would be possible? And if I think that would be possible, do I think it would be possible for me to say, okay, let's transfer the Vidian's consciousness into a body, and then at the last minute do a switcheroo and try and do the combined consciousness before they have a chance to realize what I'm doing?
No, you wouldn't be able to do it both into one body.
No, not both into one. I'm just saying, could we put the combined consciousness in a single body? Do I think that would be possible to do?
No.
Since we know it's
without screwing up their brains.
Well, I think that's the whole point. We are trying to do that with the collective brain.
Yeah, when you say not without screwing up their brains, specifically, how do I think that their brains might be screwed up? As in, do I think that would be a potential way to essentially
The process would be too
in
complicated.
the hostage situation.
Yeah. It'd be difficulty 10.
So you're saying there's not a chance?
Yeah. I don't think there's a difficulty 10 in this game, anyways. I think it's just 5.
No. Okay.
But Tarek.
Yes.
Your tricorder starts beeping.
Okay, I examine it. What do I get from it?
You see text coming up on the screen. It appears to be speaking like it's the boy. I'll just...
what is it? Yeah.
I'll just act it out like it was the boy speaking to you. I was the son of a technician in this complex. He was never meant to be saved. But after the silo's wealthy residents have all been uploaded, my father broke in and uploaded me into this dreaded machine. I was last to be uploaded. And then I was discovered by Tans Cole's consciousness, the creator of this. He gassed the facility and murdered all the remaining people and families. All because of me. I'm terrified of this machine. It's because of me everybody dies. I don't want to see death anymore. Kill this machine. Destroy it. Destroy me with it. We deserve to die.
Tarek is going to show Jancic the readout. I presume that the text could be scrolled through so that he could show you that. And he quietly mutters that boy needs therapy.
Yeah, obviously, it's not his fault. Okay, so I think maybe we should test bringing one of them back, and then. So, Meg, I have a question. If when we do funnel all the collective consciousness into one body, will that destroy it?
I don't know. You don't know. But Tarek, you can actually communicate with the boy if you like.
Okay. Okay, I'm trying to figure out how to ask a question like that. By the way, I did this hilarious image of Tarek hunched over his tricorder texting.
Yeah.
So Tarek is going to, he shows that to Jancic. He basically gives a that Spock one eyebrow thing. Thoughts, Captain?
Let him know that it's not his fault, but the creators. I'm kind of muttering this to you. Actually, I turned off my universal translator. Let him know it's not his fault, it's the creators. He did nothing wrong, and we can probably bring him back. He seems to be the sole survivor of his race.
Yeah, Tarek is going to text that message, and he's also going to assure him that the galaxy, such as that I'm trying to think of it, that that if we can get him out of there, the Federation will be happy to provide him with whatever support he needs to transition into the new galaxy. It's been 10,000 years. So Tarek basically says what Jancic, passes Jancic message. He's acting as essentially acting as scribe here.
It's impossible.
Yeah, so I think we should.
You cannot take me out. It's impossible. Just destroy the computer.
No,
Kill me. Kill.
no, we can take you
kill us
out.
all.
Tell him we can. Tell him we can.
We believe we can. Your code did not merge with the rest. The only reason we have been unable to download the only reason they have been unable to download new bodies is their code all merged. Yours did not.
But how can you do this? There's no way. You can't possibly do this. I've tried everything. Give me a daring plus engineering difficulty 2.
This is all going on in text, not audio, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But you could be all looking at it, gathered around.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can all be looking at it. We're comparing results if they are questioning that.
What happens if we attempt to retrieve the child and that thing, she indicates the big brain vase in the middle of the room that she wanted to destroy, tries to stop us for good?
Well, the thing is, if we need to say first we're going to try to bring back the D into his body. If that works, then we'll try using one of you, but we'll take this one that's obviously not supposed to be here, so we don't risk any of the important people play to their vanity, and then get the boy into it. And then when we get that, then we'll say, okay, we're going to go ahead and try it with one of you now since this has worked, and then just download them all into that one body. That's my suggestion. That way we're going, okay, we're testing on the original, with the original consciousness. Let's see if this works. Okay, that worked. Okay, we're going to test with someone that doesn't really matter. So if it fails, we'll know we have to tweak the system or something before we try it on someone important. And I think that should play to their vanity enough to get those two revived back into their bodies. And then we know we can't separate the other one, so we're just going to throw it into one thing to remove it from this computer that's trying to kill us. That's anybody got any better ideas? I mean, that's my thoughts on it.
I think that's the best play here.
That sounds like the best play, but I think I'd have concerns about trying to download a consciousness that actively doesn't want to be downloaded. Like, if the boy can't be convinced and tries to fight the process somehow, then that might be problematic.
Well, he just said that he didn't think we could do it.
Yeah.
And the worst thing's going to happen, you can tell him if we fail, then you're going to get your original wish. If not, then you will be free.
You'll be free. You'll be free of this. You'll be free from the digital hellscape one way or another.
Right. Because he wants to go, and we're telling him no. We can get you out individually. Did he ever respond back to that, Omega, when we said we can get you out? We have the ability to do it.
You need a daring and engineering roll to give him a logical reason.
Who wants to do daring engineering? I have 9-3 for that, so 12 is all I have.
I'd be 9-5.
8-2.
Astrid? Sorry, Ensign Rao? What about you?
I'm looking at 9-3.
Okay, so I guess Talus, I believe that's you.
Yep. In this context, I'm figuring of my my foci, the ones most likely to apply, if any, would be from composure, reverse engineering, and survival. Do any of them apply, oh benevolent GM?
No.
It was worth a shot.
Don't you have something where you can use determination or something and give him a threat or something? He'd love to have some threats.
He's way past his determinations.
I've used my determination and I didn't get it back.
Oh, you didn't get it back?
Yeah,
unfortunately.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. Don't rub it in. I do have a thing where if I use threat to buy an extra die, that I can let me double check. It's been a while. So because of bold engineering, I can re-roll one of the dice if I need to, and if I succeed, when I've bought one or more with threat, then I get bonus momentum for each die bought. So
and how much does it cost? Is it two threat to buy one?
Yeah, this is just an easy roll anyway. This is only difficulty 2.
Yeah, it's the same cost as it would be for momentum. So 1 threat for 1 die, 3 threat for 2, and 6 for 3.
Yeah, it's difficulty 2, but we only have 2 dice to roll unless we spend momentum or something.
And someone wouldn't let me use a focus, so. So if the group is happy with it, I would spend 1 threat for an extra die.
Okay. I wouldn't mind you using 1 momentum and 2 threats. If you want to get 4 dice.
I mean, my scores are not too bad. If I'm rolling 3, and sorry, it's a difficulty 2. You said?
Yeah.
Yeah, difficulty 2.
You're rolling 3 plus assist.
Well, the other thing is by buying 1 with threat, I can also re-roll something afterwards. So
Okay.
if I miss, I've got a second chance.
I'm sure, unless you roll like 420s or something.
Don't even say even say it. I'm not hearing the words. I'm not hearing the words.
All right, let's go.
Omega, your microphone's broken.
so
who's going to assist?
One threat for 1 extra die.
All right, who was going to assist? Because I have a 12.
There's no assisting on this. No assisting on this.
Can't assist on it? No assisting? Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Rolling.
Oh, easy peasy.
So I get the 2 successes. Do now. I don't have to re-roll. It is a may. Do we want to re-roll the 15? And
sure, go ahead and re-roll it. We might get a point of momentum.
It's just, I just want to point out there is the possibility that I roll a 20 and it works out worse for us. We can
re-rolling. You could actually lose. You can lose.
Yes. Well, no. If I'm only re-rolling 1. So for the record, if I re-roll, I'm re-rolling the 15. So the 2 successes would still stand.
Okay.
Happy with me re-rolling?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, go for it.
We still succeed, that just adds a complication.
Yeah. So re-rolling the 15.
Oh, awesome.
Cool. So we gain 2 momentum from that. One from the rolls and 1 bonus from being Andorian and therefore intense.
So you figure out that you can isolate the boy's consciousness into a separate server. Because right now he's mixed in with the others. That's why he's hopeless.
Oh, let's go ahead and do that then. Let's isolate him off like the other one is.
And so rather than being forced to go through the potentially very traumatic experience of winding up in someone else's body from an alien race suffering from a horrific medical condition, that's probably going to be slightly better for him. At least slightly, anyway.
The boy's like, if you tell him this, he's that could be possible. Oh, please, I don't want to hear these voices anymore. Please, either destroy the computer or put me in another server. That would be wonderful.
Well, we still are working with the computers. Let's see. Let's do that.
Okay, I would need reason engineering. Be able to isolate the server.
Who's good with that? I have a 14.
I would also be a 14.
I'm a 13.
Difficulty 3. Difficulty 3.
Difficulty 3. I would say Alice. I think you would need to try it.
Yeah.
Me or you, one or the other. Let me see if I have anything that may be. No, I don't have anything that would help.
Yeah, I mean the most likely thing to help that I have would be what I just used, like spending a threat to get the extra die, to get the re-roll, doing it that way. And what we could do in this context, now that we've got some extra momentum, is spend one threat for the first extra die and then 2 momentum for a second extra die. So I'd roll 4.
That sounds good. I like that.
I'd still be able to re-roll 1, and assuming we succeed, I'd still get 1 bonus momentum on top of any other extra successes.
Okay.
If you
as long as we're prepared to give him more threat.
And we can
difficulty
have
3
help.
Difficulty 3, you could just put the boy's consciousness separate inside the same quantum computer. But I'll give you a little bonus here. Like, you can actually put him into that robot, that little drone robot. You could actually modify the storage in the robot's brain and make it sort of like a mini quantum computer itself. And you could probably
let's do that.
But that would be a difficulty 4.
Rolling 4 die plus an assist.
Yeah, I'm going to
I think that seems like it would be worthwhile to attempt.
I don't disagree.
I think we can do that.
Right. You make the roll, I'll do the assist.
All right. So we are giving you 1 threat, Omega, and we are spending 2 momentum. I figure if my focuses didn't apply last time, they're not going to apply this time. So, okay, I will roll 4 dice. Okay, so I got 2 out of that.
And you can re-roll 1?
Yeah, so I'm going to re-roll the 16.
And 1 could assist too.
And let him re-roll, and then I'll assist.
3.
Okay, I'll try. All right, let me roll an assist. Yes, 4 successes.
The animation I had on my screen was very worrying for that one.
Yeah, the dice doesn't always show the correct number on here. That's kind of
Yeah.
weird. But
Yeah.
You see,
but
you see the lightning arc from the quantum computer and goes towards the little robot. And the robot starts. It was disabled, and it starts coming on, and its lights start, and his eyes start glowing. The big mainframe computer starts to speak.
What are you doing?
we were testing the computer capabilities to make sure. We were about to do the first transfer. We figured there's a Vidian mine or something that's in there. We're going to test it to make sure that the hypothesis works before we try to do any of the important people that are inside.
And by extracting any extraneous data from the computer system, we should make it more successful for when we attempt to put your consciousness into one of these bodies. Less likely to pick up any random data to foul up the process.
Very well.
Ensign Rel is going to keep an eye on the sentries.
Very well. Continue.
She's growing nervous.
All right. Are we ready to try putting the DM back in their body?
I think we're as ready as we're going to be, yeah.
Well, so you're gonna try and put the Vidian back in, okay? So this is gonna be medicine, reason.
I'll talk to on that. He's our medicine person.
Okay, I think I could do this.
All right. Anybody have medicine reason? Mine's like 12.
Difficulty
12.
4.
I have 9.
Given the nature of the process, would I be able to assist with control engineering instead of some sort of medicine role?
Insight engineering.
I'll take it. It's a heck of a lot better than medicine.
Okay, and I would say let him spend give him one threat and spend both of the momentum, so he has 4 dice.
Okay.
To start with.
Yep, sounds like a plan.
And I'm looking. No, I don't see any focus for this.
Dude.
No focus.
He doesn't have a medical focus?
Wait, he doesn't have a reanimating a corpse from a cybernetic computer?
Surely he has that.
Oh, I'm looking at Renix. Oh, I got the wrong token
Oh.
here. Hawk 2. Yeah, he's got to focus. Okay. Here we go. Four successes.
Nice. And I'll roll the assist. And sorry, you said insight engineering?
Did we
for the
lose
assist?
somebody? Who we lose?
Yeah, you lost me.
Ah.
Dang it. Hang on, I'm getting back in.
Can I come out and come back in to try and get the camera back?
Yeah, or you can just try to, in Google Meets, just turn the camera off and turn the camera back on.
No, I've done that several times.
Okay, yeah, leave and then come back then.
Yeah, it decided it was going to crash.
Okay, so 0 successes on a reroll, so you just don't gain any momentum, but
we do succeed.
you see that Jancic, his eyes start to come alive, but he's kind of disoriented. He's like, he can't even speak or talk. He's very confused and lethargic. Hawk 2 says, he will definitely need rest. Do not communicate with him.
Okay, but can we tell if it was successful?
It's hard to tell, but the signs are good right now.
Given the circumstances and the somewhat unknown nature of the Vidians themselves, I don't draw my phaser, but I am ready to do so.
He's strapped to the table, right?
Oh
they
yeah.
strapped him to the table.
Even so, we don't know a lot about Vidians, and the little bit that we do know suggests that aggression is not uncommon among again to what they would consider an alien species. So I am being cautious. I am paying attention and ready to act in case.
All right, so as far as we can tell, Hawk 2, this was successful and the mind has been transferred into the body. And it has reanimated.
And
so we're good, right?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, then we can start downloading the consciousness into the other body.
You have succeeded. You have done well.
Yes.
We have utilized your techniques, and we are happy. Now, we will take your bodies. For us, there's 3 plus 6 of you. That is 11, and then you have more than enough people on your ship for all of us.
Hit the switch. Hit the switch to download the consciousness into the body.
The ones that are remaining can survive.
While it's talking.
If you would like to survive, then we could just call down other members of your crew and replace them.
So I look at Talus and give him the nod to start the process before they can do anything.
Yeah, I'd like to hit the quantum computer equivalent of Control Alt Delete on the keyboard.
Yeah. Start the process to download the mass consciousness into that body, because we know it's going to fail.
The robots come in to restrain you.
Oh. So do it. Yeah, I mean, do it before they can do anything.
When they start moving, the phaser comes out.
Give us your weapons, and we'll place you in quarantine at the moment.
Oh, I'll give you my weapon, and I'll fire.
Talus, are you activating the process?
If I have an opportunity to, I will be, yes. I just need to know what I would need to attempt to roll to do so.
Yeah, can we do that, Omega? While they're still yapping?
What do you want to do?
We want to hit the process to download the mass intelligence into the one body.
Whichever sentry is closest to Talus is the one I'll fire at.
But the only problem is, the only consciousness you can get is that one guy. He was the last to go, and the only brain wave that you can access. The other ones are lost.
All right.
Wait. What?
Then can we?
But we can't.
Instead of trying to download it, can we just try and delete it then?
Delete the
Format
consciousness.
format the hard drive. Wave a magnet beside the CPU.
Delete the computer.
Yeah, we are literally being threatened, not just for our own lives, but the lives of our crew. This is pretty much the definition of an us or them situation.
And it's not just us. It's also everybody back on the ship.
Yeah. So.
Ray, mute yourself, and meet. In Google Meet.
So I think it's perfectly reasonable for us to go with the I was going to if I thought it would work in terms of just getting their consciousness out of the computer, then attempting to download it into one of the bodies. But if I know that there's no point in even attempting that because it's just too big a file size or whatever, then I would want to try and do whatever I can to essentially, as I said, delete them from the computer or make it so that the computer doesn't work anymore.
Yeah. Okay. That would be a chain task, right? So you'd have to do a couple steps to beat the thing. Two steps, but it would be during combat. You guys want to do combat, or do you want to wait till next session?
We're kind of pushed for time for combat, aren't we?
Yeah, it's almost midnight.
Yeah, it's like 22. I think that would be pushing it.
Okay.
I think we'd be way past.
Okay. Well, that's where we end then.
All right.
That was we started. I didn't have to change the scene. We started there and ended there. So
you could have taken a screenshot of how it was set up initially, because I think all those robots are back where they started from at the start of the story.
Yeah, it's just like if you would have fought him right away, it would have been the same thing, right? But at least you found out a lot. Like you wouldn't have got the boy into the robot or the other guy into his body. And so it's kind of neat. I thought we'd finish this scenario today. I want to finish this scenario because we got to finish this one. Like after this is done, it doesn't matter who shows up or what, right? Anybody can take a break or whatever, but you got to have the same people in this scenario for sure. So maybe Hawk 2 will be here next time.
Yeah, that's going to be feeling it.
But that was interesting.
Yeah.
We got to learn the mechanics a little bit more.
Having the 6 weeks between sessions, there's a bit of rust we needed to.
Yeah, it's very hard to learn this game and just playing it like every month and shit like that. But what you guys gotta learn is there's a sheet that has all your momentum spends that you can do. Yeah. Like you can make a trait based on what you succeeded, and you could really change the scene like a DM changes the scene by using momentum. So just check it out. Your momentum spends for a future. But I shouldn't be telling you because you already guys got so much advantage on me. So I don't want to give you.
Yeah, I was about to say there's some real irony to you mentioning this, given how much you complain about us having too much advantage.
Well, I'd like an even fight.
Where is that sheet?
There is a there's a separate reference one that's quite good for like the different shipboard stations. So knowing what you can do at the helm and at tactical and that sort of thing. That has a few general ones. I'm pretty sure that's somewhere in the Discord.
Yeah, personal conflict momentum spends is another one. That's in the GM screen too.
Yeah. I think page 293 of the rule book has personal. That's where that's in the core rule book. So all the different ways you can spend momentum. In combat, but also in any other situation.
Yeah, there's. I don't know exactly where the one is for out of combat, but it's. Yeah, you could really change the scene, and you could even add add more. Like it costs to move a zone. You could even spend momentum to get another minor action or a major action. If you wanted to spend momentum, you could have 2 minor actions and 2 major actions. Run right across the whole place or whatever. So there's a lot of ways you could spend momentum to change this game for sure.
Yeah, and so that's basically what I was doing with the what we did with the extended task, by spending that momentum to reduce the difficulty of the task itself. Yeah, but the alter trait ability is what it has in the table. It's fun. As Omega said, lots of stuff to remember about what you can do, even just knowing your own balance and that sort of thing.
You got to have your own cheat sheets in front of you with all the things there, so you can go over it, summarize it. It's really hard for me. I can't remember everything. It's I got GM screen here. I got cheat sheets. I got a book. I got a tablet.
Yeah, I'm doing my best on my end to keep my sheet straight, but all some of the other stuff just gets missed because there's so much.
Yeah.
All right.
That's part of the game, is just missing it.
My cursor is constantly hovering over my phaser. That's all.
But you're just shooting. You're losing probably lots of advantage you get. But there's only so much momentum you got. So all these things you could do.
Yeah.
It's do I want to spend that momentum, right? But so a lot about this game is there's a lot of good role play, good story, and that, but a lot of it focuses down to that role. How am I going to do this role? What am I going to do with this role? You know what I mean? So it's a lot about the role here. I said there's a lot of time involved in the role too.
Yeah, it like when I checked in a few times about which focuses might apply and that sort of thing. It's if you want to succeed, you got to take the time to check those things, and making sure you know what the difficulty is of the role, to know whether it's worth it to spend some of those resources or not. The more we do it, the more we get into the flow, and the more it's just sort of happening automatically, and I think we are getting better at it as we go along. Having what felt like several months off between sessions didn't help us. So we're coming back. Yeah, we're coming back though. We're coming back.
Yeah, and for anybody new catching this stream that hasn't seen us or seen this campaign, it's basically an overall campaign where they're trying to get home from the Delta Quadrant, just like Voyager, but in a different way, and with an very older ship going back a few hundred years before the first Star Trek Enterprise. So they got more primitive technology.
It's only a few. It's only a few years before
Captain Kirk.
TOS. Yeah.
Yeah. And we're about level with Strange New Worlds in terms of timeline.
So what you're going to see in this campaign, you're going to see basically, generally speaking, they're trying to get home. They got the Borg on their tail, and you're going to see a lot of those Delta Quadrant races, like the Vidians, and but you're also going to see like just normal one-shots that happen throughout the whole thing. So it's a really good game. It's going to be a really good story. It already is a really good story. You go back and check out all the streams. We're on episode 8 now. Yeah, a lot more to come, and you'll probably see a lot of different faces popping in and out of this game, just like you do in regular Star Trek. But yeah, thanks for coming out. And tomorrow night we got Alien RPG, Building Better Worlds. We're on the second last mission of that. And yeah, Twilight 2000 Saturday, and that's it for this week. So we stream a lot of Free League games, but this is Modifius Star Trek Adventures 2E that just came out
Walking
recently.
Dead next week.
Oh yeah,
we have Walking Dead next Tuesday.
Yeah, next week is the bye week. Walking Dead next Tuesday. Can't wait for that one. So anything, anybody else got anything to say? No.
I think we're good.
Good game.
All right.
Yeah.
Good game.
Yeah.
Good night, everybody, and we'll see you 2 weeks. The continuation of Star Trek. Bye bye.
I promise I'm waving behind the busted camera.